Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. It is super early in the morning, and I thought I would just push out one more indoor video super quick. And we're going to work on starting lettuce in our indoor green stalks. Hi, everybody. My name is Kim, and you're at Kim's Cozy Corner. And I grow indoors during the winter season so I can continue to have fresh vegetables all year long. And today we are going to focus on setting up our second green stalk in the indoor grow space. So this is the first green stalk that I set up right here. We have overwintered peppers in here, and we also have in here some collard greens. And this one's set up, all ready to go, is watered in, is happy. Now, these overwintered peppers, of course, came from outside. So I'm having to be super careful on, did I bring any pest inside as well? So we're watching it super closely. Now, this next one we're going to do, let me show you where we're going to get those lettuce transplants from. So, y'all, I have been growing transplants for a minute now in this Let Pot seed starting station. And now we are going to take some of these transplants out and we are going to move them over to that green stalk that we're getting ready to set up. But let's see which of these lettuce plants we're going to take out. Now, eventually, that's going to be a 3-tier green stalk in that grow space over there. I don't have time to set up 3, and I don't have all the soil I need indoors to start up 3. I'm hoping and praying that I got enough to start up at least 1. So I got room for 6 plants or more, depending on the variety of plant that I put in there. And so all of this is lettuce. Some of it, y'all, is too far gone, and I'm not going to worry about it. But there's still some good lettuce in here. So let's figure out which ones we want. And then we're going to do some name tags, y'all, because I don't want to forget. So let's see here. We are going to do, there's so many to choose from. Okay, Gustav didn't make it. So we can take that tag out because there's nothing there. What's back here? Bronze Minuet didn't make it. Ooh, Giant Caesar. Ooh, let's do that. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and just pull it out. Plug and all. Look at that. Giant Caesar. Now, there are 3 plants right here with this Giant Caesar. I'm going to have to put the label back because I didn't take it off. There are 3 plants. I'm going to take 2. And usually you only put 1 plant in each of the pockets. Now, I'm not going to let this Giant Caesar get giant. So I'm going to put 2 in the pockets, and I'll explain how I'm going to do that later. And this 1 extra is just going along for the ride. But if you can see right here, y'all, it's starting to get root bound, and it's going to go bad if I don't do something with it. So we're going to take the Giant Caesar. That's going to be 1. I'm liking the look of that. What is that? Grand Rapids. And there's only 1 plant, so that's easy. Grand Rapids. And I only had 1 that made it, so I can put the sign with that one. What is this back here? La Rosa. Let's take La Rosa. Gonna take La Rosa. Is that Pablo? Well, of course that's Pablo. Do Pablo. I know Pablo when I see it. And Mary Queen. Mary Queen. I need to leave that in there. Pablo. And I think, y'all, I got enough. So these are the lettuce plants that we are going to start today. Mary's Queen, Pablo, Lala Rosa, I think is what I said it was. Yeah, Lala Rosa, and Giant Caesar and Grand Rapids. Those are our plants that we're going to try to put in that first level of our green stalk. So let's get back over there and get it set up. So one of the first things I had to do is make sure I had this where I wanted it. I want to make sure that I have space in between the other green stalk and this green stalk so they don't bump into each other. I needed to make sure that I had room for the water to drain out and I can capture it so that I don't get my floor wet. I had someone ask, what kind of tray is this right here that I'm catching the water for my indoor grow space? And this is a 10-20 tray. It's the same kind of trays that you use for seed starting. There are no holes in the bottom of it. And this particular tray came from Bootstrap Farmer, I believe. Yeah, Bootstrap Farmer is where these came from. I stick it in here so it can catch any and all the water that comes out of the green stalk. For this green stalk, I am adding, the first thing I'm going to add is my happy frog. So let me go grab what little I have and see if we can fill this up. This is an original green stalk. These are 10-inch pockets, and you can grow anything in an original green stalk. It doesn't matter. Corn, cabbage, and you can grow tomatoes, cucumbers, melons, eggplant, right? Anything can grow in a 10-inch green stalk. That's the original green stalk. Let me share one more thing with you while I'm at it. In your green stalk, you get a pamphlet like this when you order. And this pamphlet, if you look in this pamphlet, it tells you right in the pamphlet what you can grow. So in the original, you can grow cabbage, cantaloupe, cauliflower, coleus, corn. They're saying dwarf corn, cucumbers, dahlias, dusty minor, eggplant, kohlrabi, leeks, mums, okra, peppers, petunias, potatoes, squash, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, watermelon, zucchini, right? You can grow pretty much anything. Now they do have a leaf planter which only has 7-inch deep pockets, and you want to grow things that don't have long roots, right? Shallow root type stuff. And there's a list in here of those as well. So if you're not sure, the little pamphlet will tell you. If you go to their website will tell you as well. There's a link below to GreenStalk, the website, and everything dealing with GreenStalk. I am an affiliate of GreenStalk, and I've been an affiliate now for a few years, but before I became an affiliate, I had bought more than 10 GreenStalks prior to becoming an affiliate because I already love the brand. If you have questions about GreenStalks, let me know. Just hit me up in the comments. Most of the time I can get to the comments, but if you have a real question, you need to send me an email if you want a quick answer. All right, that's my green stalk pitch. Now let's fill this green stalk up with Happy Frog. You want to use a good quality potting soil, and Happy Frog is my choice. Now I like to cover up that center hole. I don't have to use the middle finger though, but I cover it up with a glove. Just anything to keep dirt from falling through that center hole. If I was outdoors, y'all, all of this would have been done outdoors. In the grass, somewhere like that. When I'm indoors, I have to be so careful. When you're putting your soil into your green stalk, you want to fill it all the way up to the top. There's a line that tells you to fill to here, which is basically the top of the green stalk. Y'all, that's the first finger sticking up. That's not a middle finger. That's the first finger. All right, I'm making sure that I got it all full. One more, and that should get it. Now, y'all, I am in my indoor grow space, and the floor of my indoor grow space is waterproof, but I don't want to track dirt and stuff all over the carpet in my basement because that's where we are. So I'm going to try to sweep up as much as I can just to keep from tracking it. So I went ahead and took a minute and made up name tags. But the next step for this space right here is to add some fertilizer. So I'm just going to put, I don't know, a little fertilizer, y'all. I don't measure it. But a scoop usually gets me almost 6 pockets if I fill the scoop all the way up to the top. I'm going to massage this fertilizer in, just in the pocket area. And green stalks, y'all, they water from the top. Unless you are just starting a green stalk, once you got established plants, all you need to do is water it from the top. If you're in a hurry, sometimes I'll hit it from the sides or something like that. But once it's established, you are good. If you're starting seeds, you can hit it from each individual pocket. But the one thing you might see during my indoor grow space is watering by the pockets versus from the top, just because I have to really, really be careful when I'm watering indoors. If I was outdoors, you water it from the top and it'll show how it waters in the little gray disc, how there are holes in the bottom of each and every one of your tiers, and the water will come through those as well. So you get evening watering all the way through your green stalk. But when I'm indoors, I have to do things just a little different. Now I'm going to go ahead and set my plants up next. I'm going to want to kind of lay my plants out to determine where I want to put them. So let's do that first. We're going to put Grand Rapids right there. Oh, by the way, I went back and got a Mervele. Oh, May Queen. I forgot. My Pablo, my Caesar, and my Lala Rosa. Now, I'm going to have to do some separation and things of that nature, but I just wanted to get it in here. Let's get a name tag next to everything so I don't forget what I just said. And then I got another giant Caesar because I'm going to have to separate those. All right, so let's start here with this Pablo. Now I have 2 nice Pablo plants here, and I am going to separate them because they're too close. And so I just take them and I just pull them apart just like that. But I'm putting both in here. So we will harvest one and then the other one will keep growing. For all transplants, I like to use Mycos. So for Pablo, I'm going to make 2 little spots. For all of my lettuce, I'm going to plant them back to the depth they were, unless they're long and lanky. And if they're long and lanky, I might push it down just a little bit more. But there's my little plant. Mycorrhizal kind of helps the plant get established. There's the other one. Stick it back in there. And Pablo is in, and I may have to add just a little more. The dirt is settling and is going down, so I might have to add just a little bit more. All right, we're going to get our Grand Rapids in there next. I only have 1 in here, looks like, so we're going to put it right in the center. A lot of times with my lettuce, I'll put 1 on one side and 1 on the other side, and then that way I'm harvesting one while the other one is getting happy. I'm going to push it over just a little bit because I have an extra giant Caesar, and I'm going to put it in here with the Grand Rapids. So I have a total of 3. I'm going to put that one there. And these 2 right here, these 2, we're going to separate them. See? Separate. And then I need to make 3 pockets. 1. Put 1 right here. And 1 right here. I'm hoping you can see this. When I go to edit, hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Mycos in all 3 pockets. Get that lettuce in there. Get the rest of it over here. Yeah, we're going to have to add a little more soil because this is going to settle. Moving on around. So I'm going to do this for all the plants. And if I only have one, we'll only be putting one in there. I'll bring you back once I get them all in. This is root bound. All of the roots are kind of wrapped in and around. So what I do, y'all, I just pinch it off. I pinch the bottom off before I plant it. And that stimulates more root growth. All right, it's all in there, but what's not in there is enough soil. So I'm going to add just a teeny bit more soil, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to top this off while we're waiting to add the other tiers. Since I'm not ready to add the other tiers, I'm going to go ahead and put the top watering disc on top of this bottom tier, just so the plants will grow out and not in. Let's make sure I don't have anything pinched. There we go. And this way, all the plants are going to grow out this way versus into the middle. And then when I go to try to add that next tier, I'm going to struggle and I'm going to be pinching my plants. So the top watering tier is on. We need to water. Now, I don't need to water a whole bunch because that soil was super, super wet, except for the last little bit that I sprinkled on. So I have about 1/4 of a gallon in here. And I only have one tier, so I don't really have to do that much. And so the water is going to go through the holes and it's going to water each and every one of these pockets. And y'all, that's the first lettuce plants going in my indoor green stalk. Now I have lettuce growing in other places in the house, but the first lettuce for the indoor green stalk this year. I hope you enjoy this video. I will be doing updates weekly showing how things are growing. I will be adding more tiers. I'll be adding more vegetables even to this space. So we still have cucumbers to add. We still have carrots to add, among other things. So if you enjoyed it, consider subscribing to Kim's Cozy Corner. And all winter long, we're going to be playing in the dirt. So, until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you choose to hang out with me at Kim's Cozy Corner. Bye.